logistics. Pieter is from StoreShippers, and we're talking about now switching gears to the quick commerce, which has been something very quickly growing and probably in the last few months as quickly declining. Daniel, Pieter, thank you very much. I will probably start with Daniel. I know that you have a strong opinion about the quick commerce. Is it working? Is it possible to work?
Good morning, Nick. It is possible, not in its current model or format, I should say. I don't believe the cheap 10-minute deliveries of groceries is the way forward. I think it's a premium product, and I think we should charge the right price for it. But yes, it is possible. And we have to look at what we're also delivering. I mean, if somebody's buying a nice handbag, I don't think they're going to mind paying a premium for the delivery. But to pay a premium to get your groceries delivered in 10 minutes, if people want that, that's fine. I just don't see it as a cheap product. And I think we just need to charge the correct price for quick commerce. Personally, I think people are looking more for window deliveries or time deliveries on their request rather than necessarily quick. So that's my view on the matter.
Pieter?
Yeah, I totally agree with that, actually. So I think this 10-minute delivery is, of course, beautiful. And I must say it helped the discussion for my business a lot, because we are primarily into same-day delivery, time slot delivery, and where the expectation 2 years ago when I chatted about same-day delivery, the response was, is that really necessary? Now everyone is used to 15 minutes. So it helped my business quite a lot, to be honest. But the whole model of 10-minute grocery delivery, it's kind of a gimmick this way, right? I believe in grocery delivery, of course, but I think the 10-minute thing it's just about a product that you forget, and then it's never gonna reach a basket size where I think you can get to a profitable model, especially with the expensive distribution and network they need to do this. So I believe in this quick commerce thing, but I don't understand why they need to build like new dark store supermarkets. Why don't you just use the current supermarkets and add quick delivery to that? I think that would be a much better model.
Is it specifically, you both mentioned groceries, and do you think it can work for higher value goods? You mentioned a bag, Daniel, but how often would you need a bag in the next 15 minutes then?
I mean, what the commodity is, as long as it's got a decent margin to it, and it could be a pair of headphones, a speaker, or anything you want. I mean, it could be groceries, but pay a premium for that delivery. I think it's a premium product if you want it quick or you want it at a specific time. If you're happy to pay for it, I don't see a problem with it. So yes, I mean, your question is the model going to work? Yes, if we charge the right price. If we try and hide the price somewhere within, cheap groceries already with small margins, I don't see that working. But if the commodity allows it, or somebody's happy to pay a premium for it, I think there is a room for quick commerce or time delivery, like I said earlier. I mean, we run micro warehouses, so we do have clients with premium products, and we do deliver them to people's doors, but they pay a good price for that. But it's not necessarily 10 minutes.
Pieter, on your side, how have you built your network to enable what you were talking about?
Well, so first of all, what we do, right? We are a sustainable same-day delivery platform, and what we do is we connect omni-channel retailers like an Espresso or Rituals Cosmetics to a network of over 70 eco-friendly and fast couriers in 15 countries at this point via a single API connection. So, and with this network, we enable omni-channel and local fulfillment strategies like ship from store, ship from hub. And what I very much believe in is that the customer wants fast and sustainable, right? But they also, so I really believe in that fast delivery model. And I think the only way you can do that is, first of all, to source it locally. but also to create logistic efficiency. So indeed, planning shipments or doing same day deliveries in a route. I very much believe in that model, but I don't really believe in the A to B kind of single order shipment method that you would need for 10-minute delivery. That's just such a premium product and at a price point that will never get mainstream. So I share Daniel's opinion here that it's and also the use is limited, right? I mean, when how many times did you really forget your mother's birthday? Or at least for me, it's a limited amount of times. So when you really need that 10-minute retail delivery, I don't think it makes sense too much. But the same day delivery is very much does to me.
And Daniel, is there a sweet spot on the price, on the cost side, when you were talking about people paying the premium?
I mean, if we want good couriers and we want them to have efficient delivery and not dump it over the fence or behind the bin, you have to pay them well. That's the simple fact of the matter. It's hard enough getting staff, but to get good staff is even harder. So the reality is, you pay people well, you get an efficient delivery and good couriers and happy couriers, and they smile when they're making a delivery as well. It's not an easy job. They get wet. It's a danger factor, but we seem to push it right down and we squeeze and squeeze and squeeze, and somebody has to pay for this if they want a good quality delivery.
And I know both of you. So, yeah, Pieter, sorry, go on.
Yeah, so I very much agree. I mean, what I don't get is that the only way for logistics or for delivery seems to be down price-wise, and I don't understand why retailers push that hard on that, because I mean, you spend hundreds of thousands of euros or pounds or whatever on your store experience, right? You train your staff, you give them uniforms, it's the smells, it's the sound, it's everything. I mean, that customer experience is everything to you. And then at the end of the line, when you have that final touch point for your consumer, when you get that parcel delivered, we're talking about 50 cents less on payment, and then you get a shitty delivery experience. I don't get that at all. It's such a waste of money. It's totally focused on totally the wrong things. And also looking at the delivery right now, I mean, I don't think like the premium delivery like Daniel's doing with Cargo Bike, I don't think that's too expensive. I think the normal deliveries are too cheap, because they're not taking into account the effect of the pollution they cause and the traffic they cause and all that stuff that's not accounted into the price. So I actually think it's not priced in fair, and that should change.
And one of the other things I also wanted to mention was around location and local authorities. I mentioned earlier in the day Amsterdam case, which seems to be the sort of the local authority most vocal about it, but in London this happens as well. Do you think that quick deliveries might suffer because local authorities and customers have realized that they just cause more damage?
Yeah, well, so I think with every new development comes sometimes some opposition to change. I mean, we had that when Uber came into the world, right, with the taxis, and now this is new again. So there's always people that are opposed to it. Of course, you need to regulate it, and you could question yourself if it's a good idea to have like a supermarket distribution point in the middle of a residential area. But in the end, what I don't like about it is that they say, yeah, it doesn't add anything. Well, I think with the usage these apps have, it does add something, right? I mean, how can we discuss that if people are using it? It has a need, I guess, or some people like it. But yeah, of course, I guess in the market, in this kind of stuff where you have so much money flowing and you always kind of overshoot maybe a little bit, and then you go back to the drawing table and you make a model that works for everyone. But yeah, to totally rule it out, saying it doesn't add anything for me is a bit too goes a bit too far. But yeah, Amsterdam is pretty active on this front, and they try to ban a lot of dark stores and what they call it. But yeah, but in the end, the model will find a way.
Daniel, are you positive about the model? Yeah.
I'm positive about our model. I wouldn't be here otherwise. I do. The dark stores, I think, has been a little bit. A lot of them here in London have got premises license as if it was a supermarket.
Yeah.
And the reality of it's a small warehouse. So I happen to have one around the corner, and it's not fun. The bikes come around very quickly around the corner. It is a residential area, and it's not the right place for it. So I don't. It's certain dark stores. There's a reason that they should be there, but they have to have the right location geographically. They can't be within residential streets. And like Pieter said earlier, why not use an existing supermarket, repurpose the supermarket, and utilize some of their space rather than having these dark stores? It's not the best places, and I don't think any of us would want to be above a kitchen cooking food. So I think the authorities are looking at this now, because it should be a warehouse license rather than a supermarket license.
And just finally, before we finish, from both of you, where do you think next year or the next few years will take us when it comes to last mile operations and urban operations specifically?
Well, I think our goals are quite well aligned. So I think Daniel's model is right on it. I mean, I believe that the customers push for sustainable delivery and also same day or like quick delivery will continue. And the only way to do that is to use products that are already close to consumers, because in that way you can ship fast, but you can also use transportation models that are sustainable, like the beautiful cargo bike behind Daniel. And the thing is, if you don't do this as a retailer, I think you'll be only selling your products through a platform like an Amazon, who is able to do it. So local sourcing is the way, and I like Daniel's model on that. We encourage that very much, and also a ship from store. Doing from your own stores, mix like that, I think, is optimal. And what we try to do is connect the dots, of course, and give them access to the beautiful couriers like Daniel, who can actually perform this.
I forgot what the question was. The trend where it's going. I mean, I think the trend is we know is we've got a global climate crisis, and we need to get dirty vehicles off the road. And it's not just the vehicles; it's a congestion of the vehicles. They're sitting idling in traffic. That doesn't help. So I see very much that the model of ship from store or ship from micro warehouse, getting closer to the customers and using a very nice Dutch bike behind me. So I think that is the model. I think consumers now are getting more aware. I don't think it's going to be a trend from the majority of retailers. It's going to have to come from consumers. So, some of this trend is happening from lawmakers. In a few years' time, there won't be any combustion engine. That we're calling it a trend, but that trend's started already. We've had cargo bikes for a number of years and electric vehicles for a number of years. Not the whole fleet, but that's the way that it's going. I would say 85% of our fleet now is non-combustion engine. It just takes time, but I don't think it's going to come from retail, like I said. So we and the consumers need to push that. Another part of that trend, I think, will be micro warehousing, but utilizing them as well as a consolidation center. So rather than having 10 deliveries a day, it can come to a consolidation center, and then the customer can choose what time they have all their parcels in one go delivered from a local micro warehouse. I think that is going to be one of the trends we're going to see.
Thank you very much, both.